Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Dev Diary number 12 for Into the Radius 2, and we're covering a pretty hot topic today, the home base. This is where we get into some crazy shenanigans, dude. Smoke enough cigarettes to kill a fucking chimney, clean our guns, sleep, eat food, and so much more. But what is the base going to look like in Into the Radius 2? Well, I'm going to tell you guys everything about it in today's video, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Into the Radius 2, the devs are working super hard to not only preserve the unique functions of the home base in Into the Radius 1, but also building on top of that and putting a fresh new twist on the base in Into the Radius 2 with some much needed updates and pretty sweet enhancements. Bro, take a look at this shit. I downloaded the Vano expansion mod and then deleted it, but all of my shit is still stuck up here on the walls. I absolutely love it. It's absolutely no surprise, we all know it. The home base in Into the Radius 1 is essentially just a survivalist den. Extremely modest and improvised. Obviously, whoever designed this place didn't really give a fuck about the people who are gonna be living here. And this perfectly reflects how little the UNPSC really cares about us as explorers in Into the Radius 1. The committee is overall pretty disappointed in the fact that we are even researching the Pachorsk anomaly. Almost like there's a little bit of despair and disappointment with regards to deriving any practical benefits through researching the Pachorsk anomaly. And to be honest, the explorers too. I mean, we are a bunch of lazy bastards apparently that just sit around and smoke cigarettes all day, which is honestly true. Goddamn, they put something in these cigarettes, okay? But we're also out there putting our ass on the line for the UNPSC to go and explore these anomalies, different enemies, and ultimately figure out what the fuck is going on around here. Thankfully though, okay, and I've been waiting for this for a minute, boys. The committee in Into the Radius 2 is shedding this sort of indifferent feeling towards explorers. The UNPSC is finally showing us explorers a little bit of respect around here. And that can be reflected and seen very clearly in the new and improved look of the facility for Into the Radius 2. And remember, just like I said, the new facility is going to have all of the base functionalities that we have in the OG base of Into the Radius 1, except they're going to be tightly and neatly packaged in this new clean look, organized and presented on a whole nother level. And beyond just retaining these similar functionalities as the base in Into the Radius 1, the devs want to make sure that they are able to interweave a few different themes that are very important for the home base in Into the Radius 2. First up, this is a crucial theme with the Into the Radius bases. You know, it needs to feel like a fucking prison. When we come back here, we need to be comfortable, but not too comfortable. We need to be just comfortable enough and ultimately still feel like we're kind of imprisoned here, doomed to explore the radius for the UNPSC's benefit, and you know, basically we're full-time laborers here, which means that this also needs to double as a sort of work camp where we can just go out, labor all day, come back, and smoke some more cigarettes before going to sleep, waking up, doing it all over again. And that's the second theme interwoven into this. The third theme is that, you know, technically, we're military guys, alright? We're out here getting shit done, shooting stuff, blowing shit up, you know what I'm saying? We are the danger around here. Sliders ain't got shit on us explorers. So the third theme that needs to be interwoven into the base for Into the Radius 2 is sort of a military base that allows us to come here, collect all of the necessary equipment that we need in order to venture back out into the radius and do what we do best. Get killed by spawns. I'm just kidding, kind of. That's like a half joke. Oh, behind every good joke is a lot of truth. And lastly, although this isn't like an extremely important factor in Into the Radius 1, and Into the Radius 2, I think the devs are going to try and make the home base feel a lot more like home. Alright, it's in the name, why the fuck not make it comfortable? We are literally out here risking our lives every day after all. So is a fucking soft bed really too much to ask for? Not in Into the Radius 2. The devs are working really hard to combine and meld all of these different themes that they want the home base to embody. And ultimately, once Into the Radius 2 gets released into early access, it's going to be up to us to judge how well the devs delivered on this. Devs also talked about how they're really trying to use the concept of contrast when it comes to designing the base for Into the Radius 2. The home base in Into the Radius 2 is essentially going to be the complete opposite of any locations that we encounter out in the radius. You enter back into the gates of the home base, and there's just this huge sigh of relief washes over you because you're finally home, man. You're safe. Everything's chill. It's orderly, organized, pristine looking, and honestly borderline invigorating. I definitely feel like coming back to this very professional looking home base is really gonna just plaster a set of balls onto any explorer coming back home. They're gonna feel like a fucking CIA agent, dude. Right now, in Into the Radius 1, I feel like a goddamn crackhead. I feel like a bum out here, dude. I'm going out here fishing around for cigarettes, getting killed by spiders and shit, and then I go back home, alright, and live in a storage unit. Not the most lavish lifestyle, okay? And definitely not very inspiring. So I am definitely excited to see this new home base. And you might be thinking, oh, come on, the home base can't be that great, right? Well, just take a look. All right, tell me how inspired you feel after seeing this picture of the new home base in Into the Radius 2. There you go, dude. Let it wash over you. Let it sink into every crease and crevice. Right? That's nice. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely digging this not only new logo for the UNPSC, I'm also digging the colorway, dude. I really like the blue. The look of this new home base and Into the Radius 2 just makes the UNPSC and everything the explorers are doing feel so much more official. But now let's get into the specifics of this base, alright? The new base is clearly divided into different modules and zones meant for different functions. Some of these zones are going to be available from the start of early access, and then others are going to unlock as the player progresses and increases their security level. Now let's talk a little bit more about these zones. The command room is going to function as a place where we can receive and submit different tasks that we get from the UNPSC. In this command room, we're going to find a terminal with a mission map and a device that we can use to submit and retrieve quest items. And at the heart of the player base is going to be something called the Dormitory. Now, this is where you're going to basically hang out with your buddies. We're going to be able to eat here, rest and recover, clean our gear, and we can also neatly organize our different weapons and gear to showcase and particularly screenshot all of our shit so that we can shove it in the face of the boys, show off, basically. Now, I don't know if this is going to be modular. I'm pretty sure it is, so we're going to be able to add even more storage space to this dormitory area so that we can really make it our own. Not all these features are going to be available in initial early access. They're going to be added with future updates. And this next one is probably the one that I'm most pumped about seeing as we further our progression into the Radius 2 and we unlock new security levels. We're going to eventually get access to an armory. This is going to be a completely separate module where we can store all of our extra gear, weapons. This is going to be one of the ways that we can really make all of the shit that we hoard in this game look visually appealing and really stand out. And this next area is going to be specifically designated for turning in any loot that we find in the radius, stuff that we don't really need. The working name so far for this is going to be the exchange counter. And this is also going to be serving a dual purpose where we can go there to exchange the credits that we get from the UNPSC for completing missions to buy weapons, gear, consumables, and ammunition. Currently, the running name for this is going to be a supply depot. Okay, and this is pretty sweet. It sounds like this is going to be like a showroom where you can see all of the items that you can purchase, you can handle them. They're going to be on display, which I think is freaking insane, but we can't use them. And during early access, it's going to be just a handful of guns, I'm sure. As the game develops further and further, there's going to be more and more stuff added to this showroom that we can purchase. All right, time for another cigarette. The next location is a laboratory where we can go to process the artifacts that we find. And if you don't know how big of a role artifacts are going to play in Into the Radius 2, go check out this video. Aside from these locations and different areas within the base for Into the Radius 2, the UNPSC is also going to add a few other zones with different features. And they're just basically there to create a pleasant experience for the explorers in Into the Radius 2. This is going to be a very nice change of pace. get ready to put your feet up, boys. Put that lazy boy in full recliner mode, because the UNPSC is going to be treating us to a lavish lifestyle in Into the Radius 2. You can basically picture this new home base as our mansion. In the initial early access version of Into the Radius 2, the following modules are going to be present. The dormitory is going to be available, although it's not going to have cleaning mechanics just yet, and some other functionalities will also be missing. But we will have the command room in its totality. The exchange counter and supply depot are going to be available. Armory is going to unlock, like I said, as we progress to higher and higher security levels, and the laboratory is going to become available in future updates. Anyways, boys, that's the end of the video, dude. That's pretty much all I got for you today. A lot of spicy information in this dev diary about the home base. Is there anything in this dev diary that you guys didn't like? And likewise, was there anything that you're like, oh hell yeah, dude? Let me know about it in the comment section. I literally read every comment, even the ones that begged me to oil up. You sick fucks. All jokes aside, definitely let me know what you guys thought about this dev diary. Shout out to the boys. Thank you, boys, for supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys. Like the video if you liked it. Consider subscribing to the channel, man. Every time you subscribe, an angel gets its wings. Not actually, but it would help me out a ton. But by far, most importantly, dude, wherever you're at right now, I hope you have an amazing weekend. Go get some rest, buddy. Get ready for next week. We fucking got this. Light work, easy money. Hit the gym, fuck some bitches, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.